Pow, internet. What's going on? I had a good question from Caleb Paddock, and he said first he started with thank you for all the wisdom that I share, and thank you for saying that. Fashion obviously changes. A lot of people used to like busy patterns. Patterns still kind of getting used as this is post dating, by the way. Um, Basically, he's asking how important trends are and how long. Okay, so for that example, he's saying how long do I expect a trend to last? So I've done I think a few videos, but I'll link a video about my thoughts on trending previous to this. But a big topic, so I love to touch on it again. For me, and for practicality's sake, when you're approaching it for your clothing line, there's two modalities that I kind of play with, I guess. I say in many videos how trending, observing, and thinking of themes and observing the way people wear their style, that's just a part of my consciousness now. I'm always watching how people are rocking their style. And so that's one part where that doesn't turn off. I'm always noticing details, embellishments, zippers, labels. Oh, that's interesting. That's a cool graphic. What if you used it here? That's interesting how these kids are wearing this, how they're wearing this in a music video, etc., etc. One side. Other side is really why you're clicking on this video, if you're one of my subscribers, is how do you translate that for your clothing line? Or for me, it's like if I'm working on a project or a brand, if I'm a brand manager, creative director for a brand, it's a specific mode for that brand, knowing their heritage and backstory, where the styling is headed for them and the niche that they are speaking to. So all of those things need to be in play for your clothing line. I'll give you a very practical example. If you have a logo that kills it, like Reebok has their newer logo, as this is post dating, or DC shoes, or the Nike swoosh. Let's say you have your Nike swoosh. That is going to be a staple item. The t-shirt with just the iconic logo is going to be a t-shirt that you're going to carry over. So if you're a small brand, there you go. That's one style you don't have to worry about. Maybe you just work on what colors you offer for that season if you're delivering per season. The other thing is budget. I mean, if you don't have a budget to work on styling, it's going to limit what you can offer. So if you have 10 ideas for styles, but you can only afford to produce two pieces, well, there you go. Pick your top two uh, trends and produce. But within that scale, it's important to be practical on the logistical side of things. I mean, being responsible for not putting out the craziest designs out there. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 being very fringe and very crazy, everything in magenta or something like that. If you're only putting out two styles to support a very small clothing line, then for me, I would pare it down to maybe like an 8 or a 9 hard hitting, probably already trending type garment, because once that produced, it's set in stone, so to speak. I mean, you can show a sample and not produce, of course, but I'm saying if you're running your bets on the horses, you want to do the one that looks like from all angles it's going to perform the best. And when I say that, judging by data, judging by sales, get your sales manager into it. A lot of designers hate dealing with sales because those guys are black and white and they deal with numbers. I like it. It won't completely make my final decision because you have to be a creative and put that all of that data together to say this is what I believe is going to sell for the new season. Um, Hope that all makes sense. So Caleb, trending is very important. So one side of me never turns off. I'm always looking at new trends. The other side is how can you use that in a practical sense for your brand to drive sales? To not only be a leader in style, you know, or maybe like right around that edge of kind of being a leader, because the other part of that is you need to make sales. So you know, if I had the budget to make 10 new cut and sew items, like one of them is going to be really fringe, a press piece, we used to call it, something that can get viral, that can get blogged, that can get Instagrammed. But the rest of the 9 pieces, some of those might be staple carryover pieces in new colorways or new fabrications, and then maybe like 4 of them are newer items that we really feel is on trend, and hit the market pretty hard. Hope that helps. If you guys have anything to add to the conversation, drop it down below. Tell me your thoughts on trending. Tell me your thoughts on seasonal trending. I did a video on just doing drops, not even doing it by the season. That might be something that's trending too. Let's talk about it. Put it down here below. Let's get a conversation going. Follow me on social media. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.